Greetings and welcome to the Inner Den, our first call after the new year of yesterday. Galloping through.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. How are we all doing? How are we all feeling? Did you survive the switchover?
Mostly.
Well, at least one of us did.
I went to a dinner last night and I said, I had quite a challenging day there and yesterday, or, today, meeting yesterday. No way. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. I'm like, man, we were all expecting this fire horse. It was all going to fall into place and go on this nice. Yeah. Yeah. We all had a shit show to share.
You are not wrong.
Right?
Sean, how's your traveling going?
Yeah, yesterday was a bit hectic. It went from your flight is late to I was on my way to the airport, and by the way, it's back on time. Yeah, it was a day. My headphones died. Bought the wrong ones out of a machine in my rush to try and correct that before boarding. In the 10 minutes where I was finding out, so yeah, it's been, and I had some feedback from a couple of other friends that there's just and I could feel it too. There's just a really sense of frenzied underlying anxiety, and everyone thinks, oh yeah, fire horse, we're just gonna be great, and then everyone forgets that fire is quick moving, decisive, and it wants action and it wants it now. So if you're an earth sign, for instance, that feels very anxiety like in your body. So, and I'm a water sign, but I've been feeling it myself too. So, yeah.
And I'm a fire. I think Angel is a fire too. Christina, what are you? Fire?
Yeah.
Fire.
So even y'all fire signs are feeling it too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, rank. It is so uncomfortable and just with my life circumstances, nuclear meltdown a couple of days ago, lost my shit. Haven't lost my shit like that in a long time, and worried about my mental health. It was a dive that has not happened in a very long time, but with the passing and like just life and then this, it's like, wow, like I had to put up the white flag and say no to some really big things because I'm just hanging on by dear by that thread right now. So I'm definitely feeling it. Definitely feeling it. So I'm happy Christina's here. As you can see, our backgrounds match because she's right here.
Yes, and it's your vacation, right?
Officially, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not dealing with any of my stuff right now.
Yeah.
Which is good because I don't know that I could hold everything yesterday and deal with my own stuff.
Yeah.
Yesterday was
Christina, for me, your voice is really low.
My voice is always low.
You're gonna have to yell today. We're sharing one microphone because.
Are you okay with it, Michonne, or is it just me?
Yeah, I'm fine with it, but you don't want the other thing, and otherwise they're gonna have to shut off Angel's mic to turn on Christina's mic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, got it.
She moved the microphone closer to me because my voice is.
Can you hear her better now?
This is something that we've been kind of working on all day.
Yeah, because I can project my voice. You'll be able to hear me, but this one,
even when
this delicate flower.
Delicate flower. Yeah, and Anne-Marie, you had some movement in your house and made some quick decisions.
Well, I didn't make them too long ago, but I asked to have my students rehomed, and one left last Saturday, and the second one left yesterday with some. What's the right word? With some assistance. I basically packed his shit. Yeah. Because I'm a little torn because he's 17, but he's also 17. you moved here, you packed all your stuff. And it was frustrating because he would just look at things in his room and just be like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm like, trash or your suitcase? Oh, so yeah. I gave him a lot of assistance. Like, this is trash, this is trash, this is trash, this is trash. You threw my binder and paper in the garbage. I'm like, yeah, you go to school 2 classes and you have no homework and you probably write nothing. Anyway, take it out of the garbage, put it in your suitcase. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he thought he would change plans. We had made arrangements that the ride would come at 3 o'clock. No, I have things to do. Now all of a sudden school's really important, and my sleeping in this morning isn't, you know, really what I want to do with my life. So I'm gonna make the anyway. So I'm like, no, you're not. You're gonna call them back and have them come get you at 3 o'clock. Well, I won't be ready. I'm like, well, then you'll be ready at 4. Trust me.
That
And what
energy's
happened
coming
there is
in.
that I was going to a networking event in Kelowna, which is an hour away from 3 to 5, so I completely missed it. It was something I was looking forward to. But if I hadn't done that, he probably still would have been mucking about when I got home at 9:30, 10 o'clock or whatever. So, and I understand he's 17, but I also understand you're 17 and you're in another country. Anyway, so here we
Yeah,
go.
but you know that today's 17-year-olds are like yesterday's 25, 30 year, or I'm sorry, like when we were 17, that's what them at 25 or 30 now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's just yeah.
it's not like that anymore.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is funny because my Mexican student, okay, I'm gonna go on Saturday. He had everything packed, nice and whatever, and then he said, "Okay, I'm gonna leave my ski stuff out because I'm gonna ski the 2 days, and then I'm gonna leave a couple outfits out." So it was like piece of cake, and this guy was just
Get it dialed in.
yeah. Anyway, so yes, I am 20 almost well, just over 24 hours child free now, so yes. But yeah. So I've had that kind of movement in here, and it's been good. It's been good. So I'm definitely tired because there's, you know, fallout from all of that. Like there is with anything, not emotional, but the change. Change just causes, yeah, a hangover.
Yeah.
Because I've had kids with summer exceptions, but for 8 years solid. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 kids. So it's like, what do I do now that I'm not angry all the frickin' time? Oh, and I don't have to cook. Woo! Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway. So,
Yeah. It brings another level.
did I tell you as well that Adobe erased itself off my computer? That was fun time too, because we
Wow.
save everything as a PDF to share documents, right? And all kinds of stuff. And it went bye-bye. So I went to ChatGTP and went, why are all my Word documents still .pdx, but they want to be opened in Word? And it's like they get, Chat GPT is so good. You have these options, and then when you pick one of those, it's like then you have these options, and I had to basically reinstall Adobe. And then when I went to look in my documents folder, everything that was a PDF went back to the little PDF icon instead of a Word. It's like what? What? This is magic. This is just magic. And I have thousands of documents with clients and stuff that are PDF I need to print at least once. So anyway,
It's
that was
magic.
fun.
Somebody from 100 years ago saw a computer today and all that it could do. It would be magic.
To them, for sure.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, we've been talking about these energies for how long, and yeah, like Michonne said, it's not showing up how we first originally thought it may show up, but we can guesstimate all we want, but that's all it is.
Well,
right?
and
And
what I'm reminded of is that we're relying on something external to make us happy. Oh, I'm going to be happy once the fire horse goes. It has to be okay already.
yeah,
Yeah,
But you can't. I don't want to discount the energy or the energetics and what they do to a person's nervous system.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just like tides or whatever, there's definitely, at least me personally, and I know it's different for everyone, and other people aren't as, maybe connected energetically with their energetic body, like, right? And
yeah,
so maybe they're not picking up on it in the same way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have those external influences. We just can't rely on them.
Right,
They're
right.
happening automatically because that's what they do and that's what they are. But, oh, I'm going to be better as soon as Michonne comes home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
or goes home.
One of
well,
the two.
and I can't remember what is where and why, but this energy hasn't happened in 60 years, and so for some of us who haven't hit the 60 mark yet, this is the first time we've experienced it. Period.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a fan.
Well,
Just saying, right now, I'm not navigating these energies well.
Um, one of the things, like, regardless of what else is going on and the aspects and the things that have been talking about, there's just a series of personal planets that are all going to hit coming up on 0 degree Aries. So it really is a new year again in those energies, right? As they come across that 0 degree Aries mark, because from an astrology perspective, 0 degrees Aries is day one.
Right.
Yeah. So
Oh boy.
yeah, and
Well,
it's all fire too, which means it's not even fixed fire, it's cardinal fire. So it just wants to start things all over the place.
and that's what I feel like. Christina and I have had some deep dives over the last couple of days, just with what we're experiencing here, and it's trying to figure out, like, what we talk about this all the time. What makes your body feel good? Where following the cosmic breadcrumbs and all of that. And what I've been really stalking is, am I following what I've set out because I'm too stubborn to let it go? Like, is that piece done? And am I pushing instead of flowing? Because with the careers and stuff that I've done in my life, I have been pushed fear. I have been pushed on platforms. Like, I have done all that stuff. And so now when I'm coming up to making these decisions for these next steps and I'm getting full body no's, I know that's not fear because I'm not scared to do it. I've already done it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm in this different position where I'm not pushing through that fear barrier, and I'm still getting a no, but it's not fear. And so I've really had to step back this week, and that's scary. That's scary to step back and say, what I've been chasing for the past 5 or 6 years, maybe it is done, and maybe the pivot is here. Not because I'm scared, because I'm too stubborn to let it go. Because I don't feel fear in my body,
Right.
but I'm still getting huge no's. And so there's this, is there clarity coming in with this fire horse, or is that fire just burning everything down around me and it's a self-sabotage space? I can't tell. That's where this energy's taken me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had some similar stuff come up for me because, like, there is a place that I'm envisioning getting to, right? And I'm really had to take a step back, and it's some of the stuff that we've talked about, having the availability or the 30% availability. It's also really questioning if this is my priority and this is what I want, are the things that I'm doing supporting that, or are they actually directly in contradiction and pulling me away from that? Um, and and even, it's come up like around even this group, like, is this, and those are just kind of questions that are coming internally for me this week. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've thought about that too, so we've been taught to apply the fifth agreement and really sit with that as well. And I don't know if it's just the seeds being planted by how many times we've heard about the fire horse and that burn it down if it's not the thing. But when the energies are so intense, it's hard to decide what is alignment and what is just frying our nervous systems, and we think that it's us pushing through the fear, but actually it's a no.
Yeah.
And that's been very confusing for me for the last couple of days.
Mm. And when you're so close to it, you can't see it. So unless you can somehow take some steps back, maybe not the 40,000-foot view, but 10,000-foot view even, it's like, what the heck? What is in alignment? Because I can't see it because I'm too close.
Close. And not only too close, I feel like, when people want your energy somewhere, they promise the moon and bring you in, and then you give and 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 support and give and give and give. There's no ROI. And now you're left drained, not only energetically, but financially, because you've been putting your attention somewhere else where there's no reciprocity.
Mhm.
And that's misalignment.
Yeah, it feels like misalignment.
So yeah, and I think honestly, this is the energy we're supposed to be sitting in, because this is what everything's been telling us for the last month, that pivots are coming, and they're coming hard, and they're coming fast. And so because I'm not scared to pivot, I'm having trouble figuring out if I'm pivoting because it's the fire horse and we've been programmed and told for the last month to pivot, or to hang on. So I'm sitting in that space of what gets to live,
Yeah,
because I'm
no
good
kidding.
at burning things down, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Do you know what I mean? Just because I can doesn't mean it's good for me. And that's what's been coming up for me. Because we know life is hard, but if it's that hard, are you going in the right direction? Where's
Likely
the line?
not.
Where's the line?
I'm not saying likely not, but where's the lesson? Have I learned the lesson? Am I aware of the lesson?
Yeah.
Instead of just button up against something because you want to push forward and, okay, what is the lesson? What am I supposed to be actually doing here?
Yeah. Yeah. The lesson has not revealed itself yet. But it is
Well,
only the day after the Chinese New Year.
yeah, I'm like, you haven't even gotten to the 20th yet. So
Right? And then on March 3rd is the blood moon. Like, we're not even close to being done yet. We got another 2 weeks.
oh, and you are in an eclipse portal. You're in between
Right.
eclipses. So yeah, like most people would probably tell you not to be making major decisions right now that are going to change the course of your life unless it's, the right timing, or you have other aspects that kind of are supporting it if you're going to use astrology. But you remember, I've had the same thing before where it's like, okay, are you, like you were saying, is the energy really the energy, or are we feeding the energy based on a feed that we're reading, right? And
Exactly.
because, like, back in the day when all we had was the starry sky, um, we would have been able to tap into that differently. It would have either been there or wouldn't, and we wouldn't know what to blame it on. We would have just been like, "Oh, that's the vibe," or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think when you tell somebody no and they just go, okay, karate chop and walk, I think there is data in that. If there's no, hey, let's have a conversation. Hey, let's, if it's just a okay, bye, then was it in alignment from the very beginning? That's what I'm sitting with.
Well, why do we have to question whether it was in alignment at the beginning? Why can't things just be different and feel different now, and thus we make a different choice in our future? It could have been perfectly aligned a year ago.
And now I'm just done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody changes, everybody shifts, and now is different.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think it's not like you don't get anything out of it over that time. You have gotten something out of it. It hasn't been financial, and it hasn't gone where you wanted it to go, but it wasn't a complete waste either.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. 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 So these next 2 weeks, just flowing, and I guess as what we always do, see what comes up.
Well, I have an open space downstairs where we could have events,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And
It's the 18th. We've got 10 days of events we could plan downstairs of some kind. Hula dancing, I don't care, whatever, something, at $10 a head or whatever. That will make a difference in both of our financial futures. So,
yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
and the space is
Exactly.
free. I have it.
Am I?
Exactly.
Is there something impending on you, Angel?
What do you mean?
Well, it sounds like what. Maybe I'm just misreading. It sounded like I just heard Anne Marie say there's a 10-day thing here, like, or you were just using 10 days, like, or
Well,
is
it's 10
something that?
days till the end of the month is what I mean. We could
Right,
have
right.
10 events here. Make it up. Make
Yeah.
something up.
And the blood moon and the end of the year, the end of the month, and yeah, all the
Oh, because you
things.
were, yeah, okay. I was sensing that something else was coming in 10 days that wasn't really like being disclosed. Okay, I get it. Sorry.
Well, bills, right? Like
Well, yes,
I
I
have been
know those. Yes.
scraping the barrel for almost a year trying to get financially sound, and it's just not happening. And so what I'm having to cut my attention to the places that are holding most of my attention because it's not bringing me in any money. And everybody knows you only have so many hours in a day where you put your attention. And yeah, so I needed to make some choices.
Got it.
So, and that's not easy.
No, it's not
That's
fun place to be either, especially when you're wanting to, like, fully step into
exactly.
what it is your soul's purpose is to do. And
Yeah.
yeah. I'd like the universe to support us all in being in alignment with that and still being able to financially take care of ourselves.
Yeah, and it's real hard too. As part of the conversation that Christina and I were having today, it's like I also am done dragging people by the nose hairs to heal themselves. there's this ick feeling that has come in over the last week or two that if I have to drag your ass onto the video screen and use, with the marketing and everything we're learning, the psychology of getting people to buy, it makes me sick.
It's all manipulation in some form.
And it's not how I want to show up. And so I know I'm here to help shift the planet, but I'm thinking that maybe there's a different, more aligned and more smoother way than, because every time I log into social media, I'm seeing death, suicide, murder, all this dark bullshit, and I'm like, I'm traumatizing myself every time I open an app.
Yeah, and this goes, remember how I said all of our feeds support us all having a different reality, because mine's not that right now, but what mine is and what I'm absolutely sick of is the freaking decisiveness and the trying to get everyone split, and you have to be red or blue or male or female or Democrat versus Republican or this or that, and you can, no reaching across the aisle, and then all these same people are like, oh, but there's nothing but love, just be love. Okay, well, if you're gonna be love, then why are you not sitting with your Republican friend at dinner asking to understand and having compassion for that person? Why? And
Yeah.
I can't stand the contradiction anymore. It is just, it makes me nauseous. I just can't anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
So
and that's interesting. I have a third feed. How
yeah.
many ways can an animal be abused?
Oh my god.
Oh,
I scroll until I see like sunshine or something. I'm like, I'm not even stopping at stuff anymore. I'm like, stop the algorithm you think I want to see, because I don't stop anymore. I
yeah,
just keep going. And
yeah.
it's like, no, you get abused animals constantly. Constantly.
What were you gonna say, Christina?
just like what Michonne was saying, and I've had conversations as well around that kind of thing where 20 and 30 years ago, maybe not even that long ago, people could have differing opinions. I could vote for one person, you could vote for someone else. We could tell each other, we could have a conversation, we could disagree, and we could still have that cup of coffee or whatever. And it just doesn't feel like that anymore. Like it's like you have to pick sides, and it just feels like, I don't know, just all of that conflict that's happening that didn't
That
used to happen.
was the agenda
Mhm.
in
And
2020. That was the
they're
agenda.
succeeding.
And it's
The division is here, and they're succeeding in that.
Right.
And
But
there's even one of my teachers who is, um, like multi-millionaire and one of the best online coaches out there. He I caught a reel of his yesterday, and he's like, that we have no idea what the algorithm is doing. Now this guy's nailing it. He's been doing this for 20 years, and he's like, my DIY project of me installing a little computer plate in my Star Wars movie theater got a million hits in half an hour, but I'm a business coach. Like, what do you guys want from me? Like, if he can't figure it out and he's a master, we're fucked.
yeah.
yeah. Well, and really, the
And,
algorithms are quite fucked up.
Well, and they
I'm
also
just sick
were,
and tired of playing the game.
yeah,
I'm done.
same.
Same.
And those algorithms are designed to, specifically, they want the rage and the anger. The rage and the anger gets them more clicks and gets them continued clicks. You feeling happy and good because you saw a bunch of puppies get saved from,
An
falling off
alligator.
the edge of a whatever, it just doesn't, it doesn't get the clicks. And so, yeah, I don't, I don't
Well,
know
and
anymore.
even like I've been doing digital content for over 10 years, and the last 5 years, full time and hyper full time, over full time, overdoing it, like workaholic. Like, how many more years do you put in before you throw in the towel?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know I was really resistant, with my business at first, and I think I've shared this before, but I, had folks telling me that if I wasn't gonna do Reels or Instagram, and I'm like, "You know what?" And I've done, don't get me wrong, I'll still do that, and I'll still partake in the, experience of, putting myself on a schedule of getting them out was wonderful, and I can't say that that has been the way. There's tons of businesses out there that aren't on social media at all and still
Exactly.
succeed.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's not like I know I was born to teach. I know I was born to lead, and I have led so many things in my life. I've already done it at a world-class level. So I'm not sitting here feeling like I can't do it. I can, I have. But how is the key. And I don't feel the alignment. Yeah, when you're busting your ass for nothing, and I've put years in,
Yeah.
years. And all of the top coaches that are multimillionaires will tell you that you can't do it by yourself. So in this fire horse energy, I'm really sitting with it and going, okay, if I don't have a support team, why am I browbeating myself?
You do have a support team.
Yeah, but you're not here helping me run my business. Do you know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah.
all energetically love and support each other. That's not running a business together,
Right.
right? You're struggling too, Anne Marie. Like, we can't do it all by ourselves. We can't. And that's just it baseball batted me this week, and it took me into a really dark place, and I was like, yeah, perhaps it's time to pivot, because all the stuff I'm doing is not making one lick of a difference. And that's not coming from a victim mindset. That's looking at the data and being real.
Yeah.
And that cuts through the delusion and all, like, that Pisces energy is in there, and we're all ramping each other up. We can do it. But unless you have all the pieces and the players, it's a different scenario when you don't have $1 million sitting in the bank.
Well, even if you do, the $1 million is finite. So if you don't actually get income coming in, it will
Right.
ultimately you'll still be in the same position, right? So
Exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do believe the positivity is important, and I also believe uh, having a reality check-in is important as well. So I don't know what's going to happen, whether we keep doing this or not. I'm just going with my gut and showing up every week and doing the same check-in. Is this still viable? Is this still serving? Is this still what we all want to do? And Firehorse says we're allowed to pivot if we need to pivot.
yeah.
So
Well, again, when you think about just horses in general and you think about like wild mustangs versus a team of horses that have been domesticated to, say, carry, run a wagon or run a plow. Not that everyone does that these days, but
but it's a great analogy.
yeah, it's two different kinds of horses and two different kinds of energy. And there's probably about, half a dozen or more other kinds of horse energy in between those two places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My memory of a horse is being thrown, actually falling off of him.
Yeah. What if you're scared of horses? Then what comes with that fire horse energy, right? Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. I think it's important for people to, it's kind of like when you have to go do your taxes and you have to, pull everything out and get the spread. Like, we all know I hate spreadsheets and I don't like doing that stuff. So it's very easy for me to stay in that eagle's eye view and everything's great. But there are times when you have to put your feet on the floor and take a look and say, have we moved the needle? Is the needle moving? Is the needle moving in the direction we still want it to go? So those are some of the things I'm looking at this week and trying to figure out which way is my needle going to go next.
Yeah. I have a question. When you were mentioning that you were sick of pulling people along to heal themselves or like any of that stuff, were you specifically referring to the marketing piece, or were you referring to people who are just stubborn?
Both.
Okay.
My whole massage business was built on me hand holding and babysitting. Yes, they were coming once a week, but I was phoning them, texting them, reminding them, extra, like the amount of effort that was put in, it was almost codependent to make sure they came. And that's not how I want to show up. That it's exhausting and burnout-y, and it develops that codependency, and that's not the kind of healer that I want to be.
Mhm.
And so, spending so much time with Jorge, and even the chapter that he wrote in our book, it's, they come to you, you shine, they come to you. But in the world of what's happening and the noise, like it's and like you said, the division, nobody's looking to heal right now. Everybody's in their own headspace right now, trying to figure out their own life. And nobody trusts anybody. The trust factor has gone down so much online that nobody trusts anybody.
Yeah.
How do you know who's real and who isn't? And then it comes down to doing the dance and peacocking and trying to get attention. And that's just not me.
Yeah. No, and one of the reasons I was asking is because, with at least I think, as far as a niche or whatever, the people I'm targeting aren't necessarily people who have been doing this work. For me, and that may be where I am actually failing to draw people in, because it's been my goal to actually be the the straw that breaks the camel's back, or the thing that actually opens the door to say, "Hey, there
Right.
is a different way," right? Yeah. Um, and so sometimes I've wondered too, like, when I bring in more of the stuff that's related to the cycle, say the equinox or the solstices, does that turn a whole group of people off because I've just in the using of the equinox or the solstice,
Probably.
right? Like, and all of a sudden it's no longer, something they might just be going, "Hey, what's this all about?"
Now they're going, "Oh, it's a witch's circle."
And I,
It's
and
woo
I
woo
know,
if you're doing it on the elements, right?
yeah, and I'm the first one in most of my stuff to say my goal here is to take the woo woo out. I am not a effing witch. I will not freaking claim that for myself. If you want that word for y'all, that's great, but that isn't a label I give myself. Period.
Well, that's how I could be totally out in left field, but when I see somebody marketing on those days, that's where my mind goes.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to sort it out, because again, I've got the astronomy, astrology connection piece of it. So for me, there is like y'all, this was already here. Nobody like, the creator gave it to you. Like, so if you
Right.
believe in God and you believe in Jesus, guess what? They gave it to you. If you go and use what the creator gave you, how have I done something occultish?
Right.
If I want to live in harmony with the nature that the creator made for us, now I'm a fucking witch?
Right.
Oh, I hear you.
Screw you.
I absolutely hear you.
But it happens all the time, and I am now lumped in.
Yeah.
And I can't unlump without doing something massively severing and backstabby to like, ha! You know what I mean?
Then they will call you a witch, right? Like you can,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
like for people who don't understand, it's just, and they're words, right? We like you said, if you're connected with nature, you can add any word: starseed, healer, witch, pagan, shaman. Like it all means the same thing. We're still we're connecting with source. We're merging with the elements. Like you said, the stars align. Like that is all connecting to source. Which also pisses me off when people say, "Oh, you're cultural appropriating." Well, I'm allowed to connect to source.
yeah,
That's not cultural appropriation. That's my God-given birthright.
exactly. Yeah.
So
I'm
Period.
like, what would you be culturally appropriating?
right,
The word source?
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but this is the transition that we're watching. We're watching humanity go through, and I think this is also the hard part of being way showers. Is we walk through it first. We feel the guilt. We own the guilt. We deconstruct the guilt. We figured out that actually there is no guilt here because I'm allowed to connect to source. Like they make us go through this. Oh, am I? Am I? Like, they make you go and do this internal dig that is, sometimes traumatizing. And,
Yeah.
but we do it. And then we wait for the world to catch up. And then what do we do while we're waiting? you know and that's kind of how I feel right now. I just, what am I supposed to do while I wait? So you do all this work ahead of time, and now you don't fit into society. And now life is really hard because you know way too much shit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be here. It's like, yeah, I know way too much now. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Some
It's
days I
it's
do entertain what life would be like if.
if you could just go back to not knowing.
Yeah, or if like I never, because I can track where I started to wake up in my life, and if I would have stayed asleep and just gone through the motions and kept like, would my life be simpler or happier? I think, Anne-Marie, do you have your own kids?
Nope.
Okay. So like for everyone who has their kids, like it's something I really wanted in my life. So sometimes I'm just like, okay, if I would have just, stayed with that one guy and
Yeah.
would I have all these kids? But I knew from a very young age that I wasn't gonna have kids with the first person I could. Like because I came from a split and a divorced home, I wanted to be secure and like have a two-parent family. Otherwise, my mom was there the whole time. Oh, you want kids? Just get artificially inseminated. I'm like, no, you're missing the point. I want a
You want
family.
the whole package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know.
We all want that. I think we all want
Even
that.
if you're not.
Christina's
Oh,
talking again.
sorry.
Are you noise canceling your background? Or that's a Zoom thing. I don't know if you can do it here.
I can barely hear you, and I'm sitting beside you.
It's funny because I don't feel like I talk quiet, but
Oh, okay.
I think we all want that. Like, the that perfect family. We used to call it the white picket fence,
Yeah.
right? Like nobody sees inside that house, but I did. I had all the kids. I had them all very young.
Yeah.
And we actually talked about we didn't believe in divorce and it still happened.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees.
Yeah. No, there's not. Yeah.
Yeah, she had 4 kids.
Right.
By 30.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I knew I didn't want to have kids without a partner. So I didn't find one in the right timing. So
Mhm.
Peter's like, I want to have kids. I'm like, I don't even have a period anymore, buddy. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I met Peter in my late 40s, I think. Whatever it was. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm already wrapped up.
Yeah.
I even broke up with him in our first year even before our first year, because he's like, I'd like to have kids because his boys weren't in his life. And I'm like, I can't help you. Off you go. I told you this, Angel. I broke up with him and said, yeah. Well, he texted me the next day and we're hanging out. So I'm like, whatever. But no. And somehow I think I knew I wasn't going to have kids. I don't know how I would have fit it in. Maybe I was too selfish, always too selfish. I don't know. I don't know. I ask people all the time, why on earth did you have kids? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, when I'm not having animals abused, I'm watching parents, or not watching, but like Kelowna help thing. My 4-year-old is blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. My baby hasn't stopped crying in 3 weeks. I'm like, oh my God, I'd be like insane. I would have killed it. I would have killed myself, right? It would have had to be something perfect. Well, who knows, right? I don't really know, but
Well, but it's funny that you say that, and for over a decade, you've had international exchange students, so you do have kids. You're just choosing to do it in a different way.
yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I had to ask, because I just figured almost that you had done that because you already had yeah.
No, I've had 32 teenagers over the years.
Yeah.
Maybe that's crazier.
Yeah, it probably is, because I think they have a lot more talk back
Right?
fast.
Well, and I had a massage the other day too, and we had like the most intense conversation while I was having a massage. It probably wasn't my best massage, but it doesn't matter. The fact that he got all the vaccinations, he got all the he wore all the masks, he did all the things, and now he's seeing all the corruption. And so I tell him about the kids at school. My kid, has 2 classes. He has to take careers, even if he's leaving in a few months. And this is in order to graduate. And he's like, what? And so we talked about a lot of systems. So that was really helpful. But I don't know where I was going with that. What did you say before I started talking? I don't know.
Talking about having 32 teenagers.
Yeah. No, I don't know where I was going with that. But
It was the massage. You were having a really deep conversation about massage, sharing with each other.
Well, he was really surprised about all the corruption, because I talked about all kinds of corruption, but the school corruption, he was really quite shocked. Because I saw him 2 weeks ago when I told him that my grade 11 student can graduate by taking math and English and careers twice a week and a spare.
Right.
So even saying that right now, I can feel my blood pressure going up. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what a slack schedule. And to tell a 17-year-old, so my student now thinks he's graduated and can go to college. Like, he's already planning. I'm like, you're in for a surprise. And how dare the counselor suggest that? And it's funny, I went to a dinner last night and one of the ladies' daughter was also given the same thing. A spare, it's called peer tutoring. They can earn points. Like, they can buy their way into a graduate. I don't know what it is. They can help other students and get 5 points. Like, I don't know what it's for, but they have to take careers in math and English and this. So we have stupid kids here. We have really stupid kids. I remember what I was going to say. I had kids before COVID, that were fun, that were interesting, that had a life, that knew how to talk, knew how to think, all the things. And now the kids, since COVID, the kids are very different. They do not know how to function. They can't think for themselves. Um, it's really dramatically different. And so that's kind of one of the things we were talking about, is because I've had so many kids over the years. I can't even keep track, so I'm not going to try, but the kids are very, very different now. The school system is hideous here. Absolutely hideous. One of the houses I had just 2 houses ago, the bus stop was in front of my house. This is before COVID. And 8 kids would get off the bus and they'd be running into my house because there'd be food and it'd be fun, and the dining room table was open for them to do homework, and they would sit with me being right there. Now they're like in their room, doom scrolling, and can't think have nothing to them. Like, it was painful to watch this poor student yesterday trying to sort out what to do with his stuff. It was so painful. And I get it. There's a lot of duress, and I get it. He's 17 years old. I have made it clear that I want him out of the house, so he's a little stressed. I get it. I was not kind. I was trying to be kind, but I am not kidding. He would have taken a month to move out if he could have. But he was paralyzed by making simple decisions. I don't know what to do with this. Where did you put all my cables in I just wrapped if the cables were not attached to anything, just plugged in, I put them in a suitcase. But he cared more about that than his homework, than anything. It was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Electronic devices, Anne
I was
Marie.
gonna say,
Not to
screen
say
addiction.
charged and connected.
Screen addiction.
Oh, it's an addiction. And with my German student months ago, I said, you need to question everything. We all need to question everything. What if Hitler was a good guy and he was just a scapegoat? Well, that's impossible. Is it? We know nothing. We know nothing. We are only told what the
History
news or
is written
whoever.
by the winners, not the losers.
Yeah.
If you want
And
to call it a winner and loser thing, Yeah.
I just wanted him to question, is it possible?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, he wouldn't question it. No. Well,
I saw things where he said whatever he said, and he was a bad guy, and that was it. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
But also remembering it would be very hard for a German student, considering what has been bashed into the German
Yeah,
culture
think about the culture that you're
Absolutely.
talking
Oh
about here.
yeah. I totally gave him a ton of grace, but I just said, what if?
Yeah.
What if? I've had other German students too, and they're like, maybe, could be. Because
Yeah.
I question everything now.
Well, I think it's pretty. I mean, I just want to give you props and kudos and cheers for even taking on a role to say question everything to a bunch of kids that are being programmed to do exactly the opposite in most of the places that they go.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 And
Thank
they
you.
won't forget that.
Yeah, because you've given them permission, and that's typically the first. That's what opens the door, right? I can do this.
And I was really surprised at how my massage therapist actually has a really good community, and they talk about all this stuff all the time. So even though he was compliant at the time, they're like, we're questioning everything. Is this the best thing for our kids? Our kids all hang out and they all ski together and they all go out on somebody's boat together and whatever. And are we doing the best thing for our kids? And I'm like, my job here is done. I don't need to go on social media and, like you say, red all the way, whatever it is, guns, yay, whatever it is. Because I think all those, whatever. But I think one-on-one, if you can have meaningful conversations, you can change the world for sure.
Yeah.
Even in an hour. That was a really, I don't feel anything except sore right here from where he was working on this one shoulder. But other than that, I don't know what he did to my body. I have no idea. And I usually know. I'm usually like, okay, that's looser or something, but yeah.
You guys got
But it was
talking.
also important to him because we've had many massages without a word said, which is fine, which is great.
But
But
meant something for him too.
and so the massage I had 2 weeks ago opened a can of worms. So, and who better to ask than someone with experience with the school system?
Yeah. Well, I think we just keep moving forward, like you said, asking questions, really checking in with our bodies, and not just making assumptions that because we're going one way, that is the way. I think now is the time to be questioning
Mhm.
everything and questioning where we are putting our attention. And yeah, that hour flew.
It did.
It did. It always does when you grumble some. I got more to say, damn it.
So yes, let's keep riding these waves. We've, like you said, we're still in that eclipse portal, and it's okay that it's a crunchy week, and we'll see what happens next week.
Sounds good.
I'll see you all later.
See you later.
Bye.